Hello from the other side. Yo, what's going on, everyone? I am Mr. Foamer Simpson. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything. We do at least 3 videos a week here, and we are working on some really cool projects. So subscribe and stay tuned for those. But today I want to talk about something that I have been asked a lot, especially recently. I know there's been some other sneaker videos on this exact subject, on this exact thing, but I want to talk about it. People have been hitting me up, and in sneakers are expensive. It's an expensive hobby. You know, buying and selling kind of comes with the territory, so to speak. Me personally, most of the sneakers I buy them to wear. I buy them to rock. You know, I'm not trying to get as many pairs as possible and flip them and sell them. I'm not knocking that hustle if that's your thing, but for me, that's not really what it's about. But nonetheless, in the course of things, sometimes, you know, maybe there's another pair that you want more. You know, there comes a point where it's like, all right, well, I have this many pairs on ice that I'm not touching, you know, might as well move a few, and then that way it's not continually digging into my pockets, digging into my bank account when I buy a new pair. So there's that aspect. Or sometimes, you know, you just fall out of love with a sneaker or whatever the case is and end up getting rid of them. It's funny because, you know, sometimes you sell a pair and you're glad to get rid of them. You're like, I was never gonna wear them anyway. I practically forgot that I even had them. But then other times, as soon as you ship them out or as soon as you hand them over, you're like, no, come back, what am I doing? Or maybe sometimes it's a little bit of a delayed reaction, like it's 2 months down the road and you're eating a bowl of peanut butter Captain Crunch at your kitchen table, and all of a sudden Adele music starts playing. Hello from the other side. Rain starts hitting the window. It's this dramatic scene and you just start crying, sobbing into your bowl of cereal. Why did I sell those? Not really. I mean, it's not that bad, but hopefully some of you can relate. There are definitely some pairs that I regret selling, and these are in no particular order, but these are the 5 pairs that I regret selling the most. First up is the Nike LeBron 9 Big Bang. Beautiful, beautiful sneaker. They released, it was part of the All-Star pack. There was a ton of really, really great sneakers that released around that same time too. Nike was absolutely on fire. The KD4 had people going crazy. You know, it was just, there was a lot of really dope colorways around that time period, I feel like, and I really, really liked the Big Bangs. I got a call from a friend, local Foot Action kind of randomly released the whole All-Star pack. So I shot over there, but by the time I got there was not much left. But as fate would have it, I was able to get the last pair of Big Bangs, and but it was a size 14. I am a size 13. I've always kind of had like a thing about that. Like, I've had a size 13 forever. I can remember back in 9th grade, I was like, I will not go bigger than a size 13. Once it's size 14, to me, I was like, that's gonna be too much. I'm gonna look like a goofball. My feet are gonna be like canoes. So I've always stayed away from the size 14 sneakers. I don't actually have a pair of size 14s currently, I don't think. So needless to say, I got them. But for anyone who knows about the LeBron 9, they run super duper snug. I easily could have worn them. They basically fit like a 13, but because it was a 14, I was like, you know what? Can't have them, gonna get rid of them, and that's exactly what I did. And now I regret it, man. The LeBron, I won't say it's my favorite LeBron, but it's definitely up there. It is definitely one of my favorite LeBron colorways, and now I don't have them. So what are you gonna do? The second pair I regret selling, the Nike Yeezy 2 Red October. Again, this was a sizing issue. It was a size 14, but unlike the Big Bangs, I really could not fit these. They fit way too big. I mean, even with 2 pairs of socks, they were too big. And so it was interesting because I got a really, really, really good price on them. Shouts to T. Blake. he hooked me up way under, I mean, it wasn't retail, but it was way under market value. And I held on to him for a long time. It was like every couple months I would come back and put my foot in, and, you know, like somehow miraculously my foot was maybe going to grow a little bit, but it would have been a disaster. You know, there's nothing worse than wearing a really dope pair of sneakers, but they're too big, and so they crease all crazy, and you end up looking like, you know, you got clown shoes on. And so anyways, I ended up selling them. I actually sold them for, you know, I look at just recently, I saw somebody selling a pair and the prices were bananas. I sold them for, you know, much less than that, but I regret it. I couldn't wear them, but I do regret it because I think in hindsight, I could have maybe tried to trade for a 13, or I maybe could have traded for another colorway in a size 13 or something. But when it comes to high valued stuff, I just get a little nervous about trading because, you know, you have people trying to scam, you have fakes, you have this, you have that, you know, you have all these different little tips and tricks that people use to kind of get over. So anyways, I do miss them. I do miss having them in the arsenal, even though I wasn't wearing them. But again, just too big of a sneaker. Number 3, the Nike Foamposite Pro Royal and Black. I believe they released in 2001. It was one of the oldest sneakers. That was right. 2001 is right around the time where I started getting my own money, or at least enough money to buy a pair here and there. You know, the black and red Jordan 11s. Like, there was a lot of stuff in that time period that I started buying, and for that reason, it's kind of has sentimental value to me. You know, I still have the Bread 11s, but the Foamposites. Penny Hardaway was one of my favorite players growing up. As a little kid, it was like Penny was the man. He was that dude. And the Foamposite was just such a different looking sneaker. It, you know, I just, as soon as I saw them, I was like, whoa, what are those? Those are dope. So anyways, when I got a pair, I wore them all the time, but it's crazy because those things were tanks. I mean, they were not beat at all. They were worn, but they weren't beat at all. Anyways, some years later, and you know, I still had them, and I was in college at the time, and I was absolutely broke as a joke. I was on a basketball scholarship and stuff, but you know, for anybody in college out there, college athletes, college students, you guys know, I mean, I had no job. I was just going to school, playing basketball, going to school, playing basketball. And so I can't remember the exact price. I think, I want to say like $350. A guy offered me, and they were, like I said, I had worn them a lot. I had worn them a couple hundred times. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I'll take the $350. But like I said, the sentimental value, and you know, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, damn, like, to me that's one of the best Foamposites ever. And I don't wear foams a ton now, but even still, I'm just like, damn, you know, kind of opens old wounds with that one, but it is what it is. Number 4, the Kobe 6 Grinch. Absolutely amazing sneaker. I love that sneaker. I remember trying to get them and striking out, was not able to get them. I forget where I was at the time or what was going on. I definitely wasn't, like, you know, locked in as far as, you know, stuff selling out instantly and being, you know, I saw them. I was like, yo, I need those. I wasn't able to get them. I got them a little while later for a really, really good price. I forget what I paid for them, $300 or $350, something like that. I don't know. It was a really good price, especially compared to now. But I really wanted to ball in them. The Kobe 6 has been one of my favorite basketball sneakers. Not so much now, but I mean, I hooped in that sneaker for at least like 2 or 3 years. I would go on eBay and just buy another colorway, or, you know, I had those stacked up on deck. But for some reason, I really wanted to play ball in them, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I don't know if it was because the price I paid for them, and I was like, $350. Do I really want to hoop in that and just trash them? Or maybe I liked them so much, I was like, I don't know. But I kept kind of going back and forth on it. I ended up selling them, and I definitely do regret it because it's my favorite Kobe of all time, hands down, no question. Nothing else is even close. And to find a size 13 now, in good condition, good price, that's a tough task. But you know, the hunt is kind of what makes it fun. So that's definitely a sneaker that I'm kind of back in the hunt for. So we'll see if I'm able to track them down. If not, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Remember that. Number 5, the last pair on the list, is the Nike Air Max 90 Tiger Stripes that Atmos did. They released that pair and the duck camo pair at the same time. I really wanted the duck camos. I was not able to get them, but a friend of mine was able to scoop up the Tiger Stripes. He, you know, sent them over for retail plus shipping. He grabbed them from Undefeated or somewhere out in LA. But something, and I really liked them, don't get me wrong, but I think the fact that I missed on and I struck out on the duck camos, it didn't really allow me to fully enjoy the Tiger Stripes, because I was like, man, I want the duck camos, I want the duck camos. I would look at the Tiger Stripes and be like, oh, they're cool, but it's not the duck camos. So I forget, a few months had gone by, and a guy I knew was like, yo man, are you wearing those Tiger Stripes or whatever? And I was like, here man, have them. So I sold them to him, and I do regret it, because although I still think the duck camos are the doper of the two pairs, I would love to have that pair now. And a lot of my Air Maxes are older pairs from years and years ago, and they kind of fall apart, the midsole chips and this and that. That's a pair of Air Maxes that I could really get a lot of wear out of right now, and they're fire. So maybe not the right decision letting them go, but like I've said with all of these, it is what it is. And there you have it, the 5 sneakers I regret selling, the 5 that got away. You know, like I was saying though, and of course I joke around about, you know, Adele songs playing in the background, and you know, you crying into your bowl of cereal, sobbing at the kitchen table. But the truth of the matter is, and that's why I always kind of say, you know, it is what it is, because the truth of the matter is, they're sneakers. You know, leather, rubber, suede, glue, it's material stuff. And I think it's important to keep that in mind. Material possessions at the end of the day are still material possessions. Of course, I get the sentimental value thing. That's one of the reasons why I love sneakers myself, because they can take you back to a specific time or point in your life. But it is still just material. You know, the memories and the experiences, those remain, those stay. Those are much more valuable than anything that you could hold in your hand. And another thing, and I say this a lot, you know, especially when younger kids, you know, hit me up and they say, oh, they can't afford a particular pair of sneakers. But that's another thing that's great about shoes. You know, you can always backtrack and go back and find a pair that you missed on, you know, a couple months later, a couple years later, you know, whenever. So, and that hunt a lot of times, you know, is pretty exciting. So just keep that in mind, man. Sneakers are sneakers, but these are the 5 that I regret selling. These are the 5 that I would like to have, you know, right now if I could. But, you know, things happen, you know, and it is what it is. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you as always. Let me know in the comments. I always love to hear what you have to say. I'll do my best to respond to everybody, but let me know, what sneaker, what shoe do you regret selling the most? Leave a comment and let me know. Not too much else for right now. We got a lot of videos coming soon, so stay tuned. And until next time, Mr. Foamer Simpson, I'm out.